Dude, just grabbing that makes me feel like I should take a bath.
Holy sh! It was covered in maggots.
I'm gonna tell you why I give this one a 10. You're like, well, you're just saying you gotta have it down into the street against the curb. Okay, so on a curb, I might want it on a curb, but on a curb, the curb, I don't necessarily, if it's not in the street, oh, God, oh, that sucks. Dude, just grabbing that makes me feel like I should take a bath.
Holy sh! It was covered in maggots. I was just about to give him like a 10 out of 10, but
Whatever that was kind of scarred me. I think it was poop. I think it was dog poop. Oh, that was bad. More sanitizer. More sanitizer. Beautiful. 9.8. If I always like to consider what a new driver may need, or because there's a lot of turnover in the industry. So maybe just a little bit more space between the cans. For me, not a problem. I can still just use my mirrors to get it serviced as opposed to having like turn 90 degrees in the seat. Which, turning like this isn't a big deal. But if you do it 500 times in a day, it adds up. But yeah, that's a 9.5. That's pretty solid. I'd take that every week. Little dicey. You lose points when I have to watch how close I can get to a car to maneuver in. And I'm losing it. It's outside of my mirror.
so I gotta turn. So this is getting down to like 8. Whew. Yeah, this is.
If I have to use maximum reach of my arm, I lose points for that. That's not good. It's a little risky. So I don't know. An 8.1. Right here, given the context of the situation with the street parking, right there, that would have been a nice 9.5. 9.5. Yeah. Maximum effort. Ooh, yeah. Hear the truck groan a little bit when it hit the end of the hydraulic cylinder. We got it though. So, 8.1. I almost get grade on how they put trash in the cart. You got a bunch of loose stuff that blows around, like styrofoam. If you take all the styrofoam packing peanuts out of the box and pour it directly into the trash, that's a problem. That's not good. Your neighbors don't want that. On windy days, no, they don't want that. 9.9s. Lots of space between the carts. Wheels to the house. Lids closed. 9.9s. It's in the grass. Now, if the customer prefers it to be in the grass, I'll put it in the grass. There's always a little bit of a risk or concern of tearing up the lawn, or if they got an underground sprinkler system. Like if I don't go perfectly vertical when I lift it, and if I drag it, I can rip off the sprinkler head. So, that's why it's just not a perfect 10 out of 10, but I'd take it every week.
But, so I don't like reaching across the sidewalk like this with the traffic or the cars that are parked on the curb. And I gotta move in and out. This one, I almost should fail this one. It's, they put it up that high, they're up that far from the curb. And they put that one out backwards. 6.8. We'll give that a 6.8. Could be better. Because now I gotta maneuver around parked vehicles. And be mindful of traffic that could be coming up behind me. Yeah, it's got to be an automatic fail. If the cart placement requires me to back up, because the industry norm is to avoid backing up as much as possible, so it should be automatic fail. So we'll give it 6.5. That's a 6.5. Cart placement is a 9.6. Trash on the ground. Almost could grade how people set out their extras. This would probably be about an 8. I almost want that bag in the box, and it's the quality of the plastic. These white trash bags I never trust. I just don't think that one had some durability to it, and it was tied garbage bags. That's a big deal. And the boxes broke down into another box. That's cool. I'll give that a 9. Little close. Not too bad for me, but like I said, if there's new hires or someone new to the route and they're not used to having carts that close, you know, just a little bit more space would be nice. Past the sidewalk, not quite to the curb. That's okay. Street parking, kind of an issue. Still a 9. I would take that all week. These have gotten amazing. So this is a 10 out of 10. They used to put it over by that mailbox and that sprinkler, and they would park a car in front of the mailbox, and I'd kind of get it serviced. I think I actually have a couple reels in the past showing like, oh, when you have to move in tight against the curb and then point the truck away to make that last second maneuver to angle the truck to be able to get to the cart, get around the mailbox, the car, but then your bumper's sitting out in the oncoming lane and traffic is trying to pass you. And then I put a hanger on the cart saying, this isn't working too well. Like, it's going to be a problem. They started doing that, and it's just night and day difference. 10 out of 10. Oh, cart placement. There's some rough stuff. For extras, we'll give it an 8. Only because of those boxes on top of that cart. That's more of a question than the box on the ground. I could get that, no problem. If it was just the box on the ground, I'd say that's a 9.5 for putting out trash. Or at least putting out extras. It's a little dicey. I gotta turn back because I want to make sure. I don't want to tap that cart by accident. The only reason I'm looking back is I want to be perfectly centered in on this cart. Because when the fingers grab it, I don't want to shake it. I want them to hit the cart simultaneously so they don't rock it. And then we'll bring it in slow, send it fast. Okay. Overall, considering the situation, maybe I'd give it an 8. That's a 9.9. Again, I'll give a 10 to anyone that like puts it on the street against the curb. I don't expect that, but I can't just give everyone 10s. Like, I could be tempted to give that one a 10 because that's pretty solid, but let's reserve that for perfection. I'm really tempted to give this a 10 even though the lid's open. There's been a couple times they'll set the cart up into the grass, and this van will be parked here, so you gotta do maximum reach of the arm while being close to the van. And if you can't reach the cart, when you open the door, like if I open the door now, there's a little bit of room so I don't ding the van as I open it. But there's been times where it's closer to the sidewalk and it's just out of reach, and if I open my door I can't really get out because it hits the car. But that right there down to the curb, I don't know if someone different set it out, because I
put a note on it. But whoever did it different did it awesome this week. 9.8. 9.8. Not all the way down to the curb. Not a big deal. I don't normally expect people to have it all the way to the curb. That's almost like overshooting it. To get a 10 out of 10 like that would I'm not used to people doing stuff that well, like across the board. Like even in my personal life, when someone goes, you know, out of their way for me, it's like almost makes me uncomfortable. If that makes sense. Like they're trying to accommodate too much. So I'll give that a 9.8. The other one's probably a 9.2. Oh boy. Interesting. Well, they tied it all together. It's a little bit better than what I've seen some people do, where they'll throw out like a pool liner or something. It's draped over the whole cart. And you can't get your grips onto it. So this isn't too bad. We can get that. It's a little greedy to go for that whole thing at once. It'd probably be smarter to get the bags separate. But we're going full send. Box and bag all at once. Let's see what we can do. Down to the curb on the street, wheels to the house. That's all good. But that is a Jenga. So I can't give that a 10. Alrighty. A little bit more vertical speed puts that gravitational force on the garbage to keep it in the stack when you got these Jenga traps. But that all gets answered. Oh no, you jerk. Oh. 8.5. If it's past the sidewalk, not a big fan of that. I'll put it back there because I don't really have the room to put it on the street, and I don't want to leave it in the sidewalk. So it's not like they set that trash out with the idea like, oh yeah, the truck will be able to grab it, because they don't know. Like, they might not even realize it's an automated truck that does the trash. That being said, we can still get it. I usually prefer the boxes to be set lengthwise, because if I go up this way, I risk hitting the wall. See how I stop the grips just a little bit before it hits the body? It takes a little bit of practice. The body has a few scratches in the hopper from that. This is 9.9s. Not a big fan of having it in the sidewalk. They place it there, that's their call. I'll put it back for them. Sometimes I'll put it back in the street, but I'm close enough to the street where I kind of, as I pull away, like if I leave it in the street now, as I pull away, I risk hitting it with the back of the truck. But I don't like to block sidewalks. This is an example of a 10. Well, hold on. This is a solid 10 for me. I don't know what the mailman would say. Like, yeah, there's that direct line in front of the mailbox, but much like a garbage truck, the mail truck or van has to have an approach to pull into the mailbox. So from the garbage man point of view, that is a 10 out of 10. Lid shut, wheels on the curb, facing the house, and down on the street. Solid something. Well, here we go. What was I just saying? Down to the curb, wheels to the house, lid shut. Far away from the mailbox. They got 2 carts and they put way more room than I need. Not complaining, just saying they gave me a lot of room to get that grip in there. That's the kind of room you give a rookie. 10 out of 10. That's a solid example. I'm trying to find one that would be a below a 5. And so far today,
it's been a pretty smooth route.
I don't know if you can see from that perspective. The reason I'm not a big fan of this placement is it's going to take extra time. You got cars parked on both sides of the street, and you create a traffic choke point. So the longer I gotta spend
Teasing out the garbage, the more I impede traffic.
and I'm not gonna keep yielding, wait,
Because I got caught in those traps before, where if you're too nice, people just keep taking. And at some point, when you're operating a commercial vehicle, you got to be a little aggressive and be like, all right, this is happening. We're going to shut things down. I'm going to get some work done. So I'm not going to return this all the way.
Give a little courtesy wave.